Hey everyone, this is Roldy and I'm showing some Ultra League battles today. Haven't posted in a while, been tanking my Elo hardcore, but this team is doing pretty well for me. Fighter, Double Flyer, and Open Ultra. So let's get into the battles right away. Toxicroak into Umbreon. This is a great lead. The switch into Cresselia, so what I like to do is drop a Sludge Bomb to kind of soften up the Cresselia in case it's running Moonblast. And either way, I think Mandibuzz still wins the match because Moonblast doesn't do a ton, as you'll see. So let's see how much Dark Pulse does. And I am running Dark Pulse because it does a lot more. So they do about the same. So it is good to kind of soften up the Cresselia a little bit so you don't have to drop any shields. And I will be able to take this in the 1 shield or the 0 shield. So let's see if they decide to shield. They don't. So I keep switch. And all I have to do is make sure that I soften up the Umbreon a little bit. They have to throw because they can't farm me down. They throw a Dark Pulse, which is interesting, which tells me they're probably running Psychic and Dark Pulse, which is pretty spicy moveset. Typically, most Umbreons are running Foul Play, not Dark Pulse. But they're still struggling to farm me down, so I'm just going to keep chipping it away with some Aerial Aces. And I switch into Toxicroak and they bring out the Talonflame. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bait. I assume they're going to want to shield. Both shields are up. They do. So now I think if I shield once, I can get to the Sludge Bomb and at least get the second shield or do a ton of damage. So let's see if they decide to shield. They do, so I got both shields now. I'm gonna let this thing go. Luckily they throw. They could have farmed me down. Maybe, because Incinerate is pretty slow. So here I was gonna go straight for the Brave Bird, and luckily I kept that Mandibuzz alive for a reason, and the reason is this: so I can clear my debuff, and immediately I catch a move. So it kind of worked out even more perfect. Catch a Dark Pulse. This game is pretty much over. I can let any Dark Pulse, any move boost go through, even Psychic's not going to do a ton. Dark Pulse does more. I believe Dark Pulse does more. It doesn't get stabbed. But here I can just land a Brave Bird. Will it be enough? And it is enough. Okay, so... And I still have a shield remaining. So that was a good first battle. So this Fighter Double Flyer is the first iteration, new iteration that I have of this team for Open Ultra. So when I have a Mandibuzz lead, I immediately counter switch with my own Mandibuzz and see what they decide to do. What do they want to do? They bring out their Nidoqueen, which is fine. And this is an ABB line, right? So typically, I do have at least 2 counters for Charmers. And Toxicroak would be like a soft counter. And Talonflame would be a harder counter for the Charmers that are Mandibuzz's worst enemy. So, but also Nidoqueen is also hard to deal with here. So I'm gonna let this thing go through. I'm also drinking a Voodoo Ranger IPA. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, typically don't drink in the daytime, but we just recorded a podcast with the Incense podcast, so I had to drink a beer while we were recording, and I was like, might as well have another one before I do this video. Make sure you check out my Wellords podcast for that episode that's probably dropping tomorrow on Thanksgiving. So the Incense podcast, Wellords podcast did a collab. So anyways, I take down that Nidoqueen. I'm going to drop a Sludge Bomb. And I switch into my Talonflame. So they have a Scrafty in the back. So I'm going to bait here with Flame Charge. It's too risky to go for Brave Bird right away, which I should have. I would have knocked it out. But this is hopefully a foul play. So I don't get baited, which is nice. As long as I don't get baited, things are okay. And I'm going to throw another Flame Charge and actually take it out there. So it kind of worked out. And I have a lot of vamped up energy now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go and try to go for double Brave Bird, I believe. So let's see what I decide to do. No, I decided to go for Flame Charge because they're more than likely going to shield this. Because a Brave Bird from the double boosted Talonflame might knock out the Mandibuzz anyways. Dark Pulse comes through. At this point, I can calmly go for Flame Charge, but I should have just gone for Brave Bird for the secure win. But as you can see, those boosted flame charges were enough for Mandibuzz. So as you can see, my elo is at 2591 at this point. These are the last 2 battles of my sets today. I mean, the last 2 sets of all of my sets today. I'm going to showcase the last set and the second to last set. This is the second to last set. All of my sets with this team have been positive. I haven't had a negative set yet since yesterday. Since I started this team, I played around with a bunch of different things in Open Ultra, but this is my first. I also don't really play Open Ultra very much, but I didn't feel like playing Great League, and Master League is also not that fun right now when it's open Master League. So I'm gonna throw as much bomb. I should get the shield. I'm gonna switch immediately into my Talonflame, start getting ahead on energy. This should be a Rock Slide. They're probably gonna get to another one. Here it is, because they farmed up a lot. It was interesting that they brought out a Machamp on a Toxicroak as well. Shows that they're pretty weak to Toxicroak. But they're not. They have a Talonflame in the back, which is also interesting. I don't know why they brought the Machamp on the Toxicroak, because Toxicroak wins that in all shield scenarios. It resists every move from Machamp. So here I do a really awesome catch and catch a Brave Bird on a Toxicroak, which is pretty great. I should have gone back in immediately because they're still switch locked, I believe. Oh no, they weren't. They do a nice catch as well, but the game is pretty much over at this point. Yeah, and they decide to back out. So good game there. Next battle is the 4th one, I believe. Umbreon lead again, nice lead. They switch into Kingdra again. I'm gonna soften it up with a Mud Bomb and then probably go into my Mandibuzz. Not probably, for sure we'll go into my Mandibuzz, because Talonflame does not do well against Kingdra. And whether it's an Outrage or Octazooka, I should be able to win this battle regardless, because Mandibuzz is just so tanky. And I do have a Hundo Mandibuzz, and it's best buddy boosted. The Talonflame is also a Hundo, level 50. Mandibuzz is level 50. The Toxicroak, I don't remember. It is slightly excelled. It's not all the way excelled. It might be like a level 44. So they bring in their Charmer. I'm going to try to kill the clock and then switch into Talonflame. Or maybe I go into Toxicroak. It depends on... No, it would have to be Talonflame because I want to make sure Toxicroak, I save it for the Umbreon. Toxicroak again is a softer charm counter. It's not like, doesn't resist charm the way Talonflame does. But I can let anything go through here. Another Dark Pulse Umbreon. I'm gonna charge up one and then throw a Brave Bird right after to ensure that I can do maximum damage. I never mind, I go straight for the Flame Charge again. They're probably not gonna shield this. At this point, I have to just commit to the Flame Charge because Flame Charge will be enough to take it out. And I get to the next Flame Charge. I could have just gone for Brave Bird there. I forgot that the 3rd Brave Bird you get to at the same time. But that's okay, because at least I was able to get entire Incinerate through on this Ninetales. And I can just kind of counter down from here. They decide to save their 2 shields for Season 10. Alright, last battle of this set against Murdoch. Let's see how this goes. Giratina, horrible lead. I insta-switch into Talonflame. So the way I've been trying to play the Giratina leads is at first I was going straight Brave Bird. What I'm doing now is going for a Flame Charge and then a Brave Bird to ensure that I get the shield on the second one, because they typically don't shield the first one, and I do always get the Brave Bird through, but then they farm me down and get a ton of energy. Or here, they're going to be forced to throw, or try to throw. They threw there. So I am able to get to the second move. And this time I do get a shield. So is it better to get the damage or the shield? I believe the shield is better to get, because Mandibuzz kind of walls Giratina a bit. This Giratina also has a ton of energy, so they're just going to continue to spam Dragon Claws at me. And again, I'm in a pretty good position here. Let's see how they decide to stay. Again, this is Ultra League. Ultra League battles are pretty long, especially when you're running Mandibuzz. I just love Mandibuzz, and I've been wanting to try a double flyer line with Mandibuzz and Talonflame, but I haven't been able to because it only works usually in Open Ultra because they're always banned in the Premier. But playing Open Ultra, and it seems to be kind of working. I go for Sludge Bomb here. If they're running Future Sight, I'm screwed. But it's kind of risky. I decide to try and... Oh, I shielded. They're running Moonblast. Okay. So Moonblast will not take me out because it is neutral. And Future Sight would definitely one-shot the Toxicroak. So I'm going to let this go. I decided to come in now with... Well, I have no choice. It's my Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, they get to a move I should have thrown sooner. It was one of my mistakes this battle. And I'm going to lose this match. I should have thrown immediately and not lost all that health there. But yeah, we got a 4-1. So good set. The previous set before this is also a 4-1, and 3-2, 3-2, and then I think a 5-0 before that the day before. So it's been pretty good with this team. So I'm at 26-34 now. This is the last set. So let's see how this goes. Cresselia lead. This is horrible. Switch into Talonflame immediately. They bring out a Swampert. So I'm not going to play any games. I'm going to go straight for the Brave Bird. They let it go, which is nice, because once they let go a Brave Bird, you can just go straight Incinerate. You have to double shield. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or you can throw a Flame Charge. But I'd rather get the energy. And there it is. I have double Flame Charges ready to go. I decide to throw a Brave Bird. A Flame Charge Incinerate does go through, but I have enough. I'm so ahead on energy that I can throw another Brave Bird on this Talonflame and get 2 shields, and then switch out and just redo my debuff. And they throw a Brave Bird. They throw a Moonblast. So I was hoping they had Future Sight. I've ran into like maybe 60-40%. 60% have Moonblast, 40% have Future Sight. I ran into somebody that had a Future Sight and a Moonblast, didn't have Grass Knot. This actually might be a better moveset, to be honest, because that Swampert's going to shield anyways. Alright, so they throw a Grass Knot here, which kind of helps me survive. And they're going to throw Moonblast, which will not take out the Talonflame. I can just Incinerate down or throw a Brave Bird. And I don't think they can Incinerate me down. Oh, actually the kid probably be like 2 Incinerates. Yeah. So I'm just 1 move away. I bring out my Mandibuzz. They're wasting their energy on here. And it's a Brave Bird. And I just 1 counter. And that's it. So, good game. Tough lead. Tough counter switch. But Swampert usually is pretty bad for this team, but I was able to pull it off there. So they switch out of their Obstagoon for obvious reasons, with Obstagoon and Toxicroak. Toxicroak will destroy Obstagoon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let this go. Very ballsy of me to let it go. I assume it's too early for them to throw a Brave Bird because they know that they are switch locked in. They probably don't want me to come in and farm them down. I'm going to let this go. It's a Brave Bird. You can see how tanky Mandibuzz is, that it can survive a Brave Bird that's already boosted. And I throw a Aerial Ace in here. Try to get a little bit of chip damage on the Obstagoon, but it doesn't really matter because even if it does bank a lot of energy, Obstagoon's moves are all resisted by Toxicroak. Even though my health is already pretty low, but I should survive anything. And my counters are double super effective. And I switch out immediately into a Talonflame against their Togekiss. They tried to snipe me, but it did not work. I was able to switch out quick enough. Here, I think I'm just going to commit to the farm down from here. Double shield my way through this. As long as I don't get the boost, they don't get the boost, that's good. And this is looking like a GG because I'm going to be able to dump 2 Flame Charges here. One's going to get the shield. Nope. I I shield again. This one will get the shield, and then I should be able to. Maybe do I bring in Toxicroak to catch? Oh, I do. Nice catch there. Well, it was necessary, actually. I don't think Toxicroak. Maybe Toxicroak would have been able to counter down. It was pretty lucky. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I would have been fine, but just to play it safe, I did a sack swap there. And Champ, Toxicroak, beautiful lead. They decided to stay in, which tells me that Toxicroak is probably strong against 2 Pokemon. But they switch out, they just bank a little bit of energy. I'm going to throw the Sludge Bomb, hopefully get the shield. I don't. I'm going to go straight into my Talonflame, because even then, Talonflame is going to do well against the Machamp that comes in. I'm going to throw the Flame Charge to undo the debuff and see if they want a shield or not. They don't. And at least I'm back to normal energy, and I can at least, or normal hitting power. And I'm going to throw this Flame Charge on the Machamp. I'm going to let anything go through at this point. Let's see what it is. Might be a Cross Chop. Oh, I decided to shield. That's interesting. I guess because I'm so vamped up that I might as well try to land something powerful on the next Pokemon and get that last shield. And they don't shield, which is interesting. And this is GG. I don't know why they didn't shield that Brave Bird. Pretty ballsy. Alright. Another good lead. Alright, so I'm showing a lot of good leads. But I was able to overcome the Giratina lead. I've seen actually a lot of Giratina leads. Those can go either way. So here we have I'm going to soften up this Gyarados, even though I kind of lost a lot of health there. That's okay, because Mandibuzz does well against Snorlax too. It's just double resisting the licks, or single resisting the licks. So it's fine. I just want to make sure I get switched. But here I should have switched immediately to Mandibuzz. I don't know why I stayed in with Toxicroak so long. Didn't make a lot of sense. So that was a mistake on my part. Trying to soften up the Gyarados. I'm not used to Gyarados counter switches, so I didn't really know what to do, and I decided to just commit to the Sludge Bomb, but that was a bad move. So here, which made me get stuck with this Sylveon for a long time because I had too much health. So I decided I'm just gonna aggressively switch into Talonflame and start getting ahead on energy. And let's see, they bring out their Gyarados. I should be able to Incinerate down now that I'm boosted, but I don't take any chances. I'm gonna go straight for the Flame Charge. They don't shield. All they have pretty much is their Snorlax and a Sylveon sack swap later. It has no health whatsoever, so it would have to be a perfectly timed sack swap. I'm gonna go straight for the Brave Bird because at this point I'm only gonna get to one move anyways. I decide to see if they decide to shield. They do. It's unfortunate. I switch into my Toxicroak immediately. They try to catch on Sylveon, which gives me one extra counter. I don't know if that game was over per se, but they decided to give up because their sack swap didn't work. Another good lead, because again, I do resist everything from Muck, even though it is a kind of annoying Pokemon because you get acid sprayed. They switch into Trevenant, which is a nice catch, but I'm gonna go into my Mandibuzz here. And the reason I went into Mandibuzz, one, it resists the ghost moves and it resists the grass moves. So it would have been, if I had Talonflame in there, I would have to commit shields because that Shadow Ball is still going to hurt. But at least with Mandibuzz, I don't have to shield anything. The problem is I have a lot of health, so I might get farmed. But they bring in Obstagoon instead, which makes sense because they don't want Obstagoon to line up with Toxicroak later. So they have a Dark Ghost Dark line. But I'm okay with bringing in my, and there you go, that's what I was talking about. I don't even know why I shielded. I should have survived anything, but I knew that this team was going to be very weak to Toxicroak, so I might as well keep it healthy. Like, getting an acid spray to the face is not nice. So let's see if they decide to shield this. If they don't shield this, the game's pretty much over. They shielded just fine. I'm going to let this go and just save the shields for my Talonflame, just ramp up my energy and farm down the Muck. And then probably just land a Brave Bird on Obstagoon. They probably gonna acid spray me. It's so annoying. I decided to clear my debuff. Another time I catch a move, so that was a nice catch. And I'm able to chip this thing away, which is good because now I probably don't have to land a Brave Bird if I chip it enough. I just have to land a Flame Charge, especially if I land one more, which I do. So now he's in Flame Charge range. I do have a Flame Charge ready, so this is looking pretty good for me. And I still get to another Aerial Ace, so they try to farm me down. Mandibuzz is just too thick. It's very nice there. And then it looks like they pretty much gave up, and then they decided to throw a move. I'm gonna go straight for the Brave Bird to close this off nicely. Good game to my opponent. Yeah. So good. This team's doing well. You see a lot of Premier style Pokemon in the Open Ultra at the end of the season because there's not the two options. People want to try their Premier Pokemon too, so it's kind of working out. Give it a try. It might help you push. I'm back in the 2700s. Goal is to get as close as 3,000 before the end of season. And make sure you check out my podcast. Again, the Whale Alerts podcast. I'll link it below. We drop episodes every week. And happy Thanksgiving.